physical things go wrong. You drop a glass bottle on the floor, chances are it's going to break. That's life. But he is so clustered inside and impacted inside with things that he feels have gone wrong in his life that he can't release it. He would do very well. I used to do rebirthings. Do you know what rebirthings are?
I don't.
Rebirthing is when you work with a really good therapist, and I don't mean a psychiatrist. There are no drugs involved. I don't use hypnotism. I also don't do them anymore because they're exhausting. The only way to do it is with somebody who is psychic. The person lays down on the floor. You do deep breathing. You do a series of breathing, and then memories start coming to them that are buried deep inside, and they start coming to the conscious mind. And they breathe it out. Some of the things they don't remember. Sometimes people are exhausted afterwards. Sometimes they're exhilarated. But for someone who resents therapy, this is a really excellent way of being able to get subconscious memories and emotions out. He would do very well to find a non-hypnotic only. I do not believe in hypnotism unless you're saving somebody's life, because you take their free will away. And don't let anybody ever tell you, oh, with hypnotism, you'd never do anything under hypnotism you wouldn't do in real life. Well, you wouldn't start taking your clothes off on a stage in Las Vegas if you weren't hypnotized. So that's crap.
Right.
So my suggestion for you, to tie this up, because I know we've got other callers, my suggestion for you is to, after you're talking to him about the rebirthing, is to tell him that you both need a break. He needs to think about the things that you consider a liability in the relationship, and for him to make a list as well. I don't think there's going to be a lot of stuff on it for you, but for him to make a list as well. And if after 30 days, or you decide 60 days, whatever number you want to come up with, but it's got to be at least a month of being away from each other. If you both want to see each other, then you should, I'm an old-fashioned girl, leave a message on the machine. Or I don't like texting because the emotion doesn't come through on the text. You can't hear the person's voice. So that you contact each other after 30 days, and you both contact each other if you're interested. If one is not interested, do not answer the response. That way there's no pressure on calling back and making an excuse. But I would break the engagement, show each other your lists, and then make your decisions after that. And then rather than getting re-engaged again, if you want to spend the time seeing how much he's changed and how comfortable he is with it. If he's not comfortable with it, you know he's going back. And I would make my happy soulmate relationship now list, which is what I've talked about for years. I even started writing a book, is focusing on the things that you know you have to have in your life and discounting and putting on the no, it's not tolerable list, the things that you can't live with. And kindness, I always say God first, us as a couple second. Because you don't want someone who's a religious nut, but you don't want someone who says, I'm sorry, there's nothing after this, end of story. Because there's nowhere to go from there. Okay, then my suggestion is either call me for an appointment or sit down and get this done with him, and then we can go from there. And thank you for your call. I think it answered a lot of questions that people had. You filled this two segments up with your good questions, so thank you for calling. I really appreciate it.
And I will definitely call you to follow up for a consultation with it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Bye, Helen.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, how much more time do we have in this segment? We have 4 seconds or 4 minutes? 4 minutes, okay. Let me mention metaphysicallyspeaking.com or metaspeak.com, METASPEAK, on YouTube. And also we are on the radio station. And we are on the World Wide Web. And we are trademarked everywhere except farm equipment and naming planets. So if you see anybody else using our name, please let us know. And we will track them down and notify them. They already know because everything is trademarked and they can see it right on the material. But there are people who think that they can circumvent the law and make their own rules and regulations. Well, I got news for them. I haven't been paying a fortune for trademarks and all these categories for years for nothing. So we are going to pick up with relationships, and we are going to be picking up with phone calls. Do we have a call right now? We do. Okay. I don't know if we can make it quick enough, but we'll see. Caller, first name and comment or question. 1 minute. We have a caller.
Stand by.
Roll the dice.
I want to know if Helen's going to find someone.
If Helen's going to find someone. Helen, I do see Helen married, actually, but I don't know that it's to this guy. I'd have to have a picture, but I actually don't know if it's to this guy. I feel that she's going to find the right man when she's least expecting it. Sort of like in the supermarket, banging into each other's carts, so to speak. Okay, caller, first name and comment or question.
Hi, Linda. It's Rebecca. I have a question for you.
Okay, Rebecca, what can I do for you?
Do you see me ever being happily married?
Well, after I just finished, let me just clear out Helen's energy. I feel it's possible, but not definite. And that's interesting. Have you had already a love relationship that you really love this person and the relationship broke up?
Yes.
Okay. Interestingly, even though I feel you have the qualities that I would admire in a person, I'm not feeling necessarily that this is a lifetime you have to be married. Here's what I mean. Certain people have to learn how to get along with others in an intimate relationship. They haven't done well in other lifetimes. I'm feeling you have done well in other lifetimes, so it's not a requirement. It's sort of like an option. And I'm not feeling necessarily, I don't know where you're calling from, but I'm not feeling necessarily that the person is from this area. So you may meet him on a business trip or a vacation, or if you go to visit friends, and if you relocate, and it would be someone you wouldn't necessarily think that you would marry. Say you're a very social person, this would be a very quiet person. More of a piano player, book reader, architect kind of engineering, artist type person, and or even if he, say, does radio, he's a very introspective kind of individual. You don't suffer fools gladly. I don't either. And that means I can't stand people who are purposely stupid. If someone is genetically unencumbered with brightness, that is a different situation. But if someone doesn't read a paper, only watches football games, is a dumbhead because they want to be a dumbhead, I don't tolerate that well. We have newspapers, radio, television, internet, all kinds of opportunities to be informed about the world, to be informed about our health, to be informed about spirituality. Every bloody thing we need to know is available out there. And you don't tolerate the kind of person who isn't interested. And so you have to have somebody who is cerebrally your match, as well as emotionally. Now, when people meet you, I'm feeling they think you're a very sociable, happy, maybe not the deepest thinker in the world, but that is not the case. You are very sociable and happy, but you are also a very deep thinker. So you are getting yourself confused with people who would not take you seriously necessarily.
Wow.
Do you want to hold on and stay with us during the break, or are you done with me now?
I can hold on if you want me to.
Okay, hold on. People, okay. You stay right with us for more Metaphysically Speaking.